Have you ever had a moment where it feels like the world is handing you an opportunity in disguise? Because that's kind of what's happening to me right now. And don't get me wrong, the packaging is terrible. The situation is bad. But if it wasn't for the bad, the good would not follow. Hi, my name is Sydney. And for the first time in a very, very long time, I have free time. And I have been gifted by the world, by the company that I work for, HR, whoever. I've been gifted a month where I don't have to work, I don't have to do school. And this is the first time that's happened to me in years. And so here's what happened. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I am in pain, and it's jarring enough that I take myself to the ER. And it's a similar pain to something that had actually happened last December. And I ended up in the hospital for a week ish. And it was a pretty bad situation. This time I took myself to the ER. They admitted me very quickly. And luckily, it had progressed in the right way. Last time it did not do this. It had progressed in a way that allowed them to do a procedure that same day. And honestly, it was the most excruciating thing that I have been through in my entire life. I really wish that I had been knocked out for it. But I'm not going to go into very much detail on that. The important things to know is that basically, I am going to have a second procedure in about 10 days from now. And because of that, there are certain limitations that I have right now. And those limitations don't really allow me to do a 9 to 5 very comfortably. And then because I have the second surgery, I have to recover in basically the exact same way again, making it again uncomfortable. When I realized that this was a potential opportunity, because initially I didn't, it was recommended to me, I started wondering, what the heck am I supposed to do with myself for the next several days, weeks? I didn't know exactly how long this would take and how long I would potentially get approved for. I had roughly put a month, and it was granted yesterday, which I was not expecting. Thinking about what the heck am I supposed to do with my time, I started to consider, okay, what if I pick up a hobby? Because there are certain things that I've been interested in and I've dabbled in. I don't know, like my major was Japanese. So I considered refreshing on that or starting a new language. But language, I did that as my major. I can understand how long it's actually going to take me to pick up a language and how much work and effort goes into it. And I kind of want to allow myself to de-stress. So with languages off the table, I started to come up with other ideas like travel. Except travel wasn't really a great idea because one, I'm on the same budget that I was prior to ending up in this situation. And in fact, I probably should be saving more money just because I went to the ER and I'm going to have another surgery and they did a procedure. So I don't know how much that's going to be in the long term. On top of that, there are certain medications that I'm taking, which mean that I can't operate heavy machinery. And sitting for that long, whether it be in the car or on a plane, that sounds painful. So that one's shelved as well. Then I started to think about art. And I've dabbled here and there with painting and stuff like that. And on that side, with painting and that sort of media or sculpting, there's kind of a barrier to entry of budget. I'm not going to waste a bunch of money and just gather the equipment for something that I'm not going to pick up long term. And I know myself, I don't have that strong of a desire to do art. I might consider drawing a little bit every day, but that's not going to take up all of the time that I have. So eventually my thoughts shifted in a weird way. I was thinking about hobbies and things that I could pick up. And then I just started having thoughts. And it made me realize I have a lot of weird, random freaking thoughts. And I started jotting them down in this journal. Eventually, I had so many thoughts written down that I went back and started actually looking at them again and realized that they were all topics that I could expand on and that I would actually want to talk about. And the thing is that my friends right now, they're all busy. They're all doing work. So why not just put these online out for anybody to see? And so that's what I'm experimenting with for a month. Basically, I am going to try to get into the habit of uploading videos of myself talking and expanding on these ideas that I've had. And they're just ordinary ideas. Like literally my first video, I think is probably going to be titled water or something similar. And we'll just see where it goes. If anybody is interested in the conversation topics that I bring up, then great, I've got people to talk to. If not, then this just becomes a journal of myself during this particular time in my life. And I hope that it's something that I keep up with because I think that this could be good for me. There's a lot of pages. I don't have them all filled out. Ow! That freaking hurt. Okay. Huh. No.